Hi everyone. I was about to make a video presenting new information about former Oakland City Manager Robert Bobb, who's in Detroit, when I did what I always do. I checked my web traffic. Only this time I went to Google and typed Robert Bobb Oakland. Now, when I've done that in the past, I found results from my blog pages, from the pages of other Oakland bloggers as well, some from SFGate and other websites. But this time there were no Oakland blogs, not Oakland focused, none of them. And the only sites that were relevant to our blogs that came up on the first page of the search for Robert Bobb Oakland were social bookmark sites that our blog was on, which no other Oakland blogs are on. So the strategy that I enacted saved us, but that's not true for the other Oakland blogs. So I thought, what happened? Well, I immediately checked to see if our blog was still listed. It was, and for good reason. We're not a stamp-bound blog, and we're updated every single day with news aggregation information, my videos, and other content which some of you are familiar with. Then I went to see what was going on in the latest search updates that are done annually by Google. And I discovered a post by Aaron Wall, who is a great search engine consultant. And he informed us just February 25th, today is February 28th, that Google had made a decision very recently, approximately less than a month ago, 1 month ago actually, to focus on brands. Eric Schmidt, Google's CEO currently, said that focusing on brands was the best way, in his opinion, to clean up what he described as the internet cesspool. What that means, I don't know. I have a big issue with this because these changes that Google has made, coupled with their focus on canonical links and changing search engines to recognize canonical links, which I won't go into at length here except to say that's basically making sure that there's one link among other URLs that is the master and everyone else is subordinate to that one. Those two operations have served to wreck the ability of a small blogger to get his or her work noticed, particularly if that blogger has important information to report regarding the activities, the negative activities of a large brand or a public official, like, for example, Robert Bobb. And in this case, I didn't have anything negative to report. But Eric Schmidt's strategy is wrong-headed, and Google's constant updating of its search engine algorithms, in my opinion, now calls for review by the Federal Communications Commission. Why? Because we're at a time when newspapers are crumbling, your eyeballs are being focused online for information, and you need to know that you're getting the full complement of information on what's happening in the world, even if it's what the brand doesn't want you to know. Google is protecting the people that are in the greatest position to do society harm or good. That's not Google's role. That is not Google's role. The internet was supposed to be, and still is, that level playing field where the people who rise to the top do so, and generally should do so, by what they know and not how much money they have. In fact, what they know should bring them wealth if they know how to gain it in a good and legitimate way online. Google is wrecking that. Think for a moment about what you have to do to get over this strategy if you're not one who likes to code. I like to code. What you have to do is you have to buy Google AdSense links. Google AdWords, not AdSense, AdWords. Sponsored links. And make sure you spend enough money on keywords so that they come up when you type, for example, Robert Bobb Oakland or Robert Bobb. That can make some people go broke, because if you click on that link and it takes that person to a site which is not monetized, where they can't make money, then that means that person is spending money for nothing other than to gain visibility. And that's it. That's bad. That's bad. So, in closing, Google's current changes, both in concentration on brands and canonical links, is bad for the country and bad for the ultimate goal of net neutrality. Because if Google continues this practice and it's protecting the powers that be, well, then what's the next step but for Comcast and other providers of internet access to have their own brand protection games and their own multiple pricing streams that favor the rich. Do we want that? I say we don't.